Good evening, everyone. Today is December 9, 2022. It is called the United Nations Anti-Corruption Day. Why is it so significant? For me, who has been researching on the spiritual history of our country, for me, after the Feast of the Immaculate Conception yesterday, it marks the beginning of the Philippine sacred prophetic history. So today, as we remember what is corruption, we look at our present, we look at the past, and we face the future. Why are we very optimistic about the future, about the 2023? In my sacred prophetic pilgrimage to the Republic of Turkey on October 1 to October 8, 2022, to mark the 100 days of the sacred prophetic presidency of Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., we offered the various publications I have done since I began my study on pamatalaan, ang pagbubukas sa tipan ng mahal na ina, or sacred prophetic politics, the unfolding of the covenant with the Great Mother, and the Silent na Katipunan pilgrimage for sacred prophetic politics in the Philippines for the world. Why is this night truly sacred prophetic? Today, the University of the Philippines Board of Regents elected a new president, the 22nd president of the University of the Philippines System, Attorney Angelo Jimenez. For me, I am so happy and feeling blessed that as I prayed for the man who will be working with the administration, who will understand that the sacred prophetic vision of the University of the Philippines is to realize that whatever happens in the University of the Philippine system will impact, will mirror the entire Philippine Republic. So, I am so happy that the new president has proudly proclaimed his program of governance that will strive to help the administration succeed. So, for me, Mr. President, the 22nd President of the University of the Philippines System, Attorney Angelo Jimenez, I am honored and blessed to be the first to welcome you, to congratulate you, because, Mr. President, this place, this sacred space, the Philippine Daodigong Temple, has been offering prayers. We have YouTube videos. I even brought them there in the University of the Philippines. Covenant Monument in UP Diliman. It is in another video. So, we are so happy that even as I make a summing up of today's sacred prophetic event, I can say with all happiness and bliss that all the prayers and sacrifices of this interfaith Philippine Dao Digong Temple, all their sacrifices through the years have not been in vain because they represent countless faith communities that have been believing in the sacred prophetic destiny of the Philippines to take care of the world. So, Mr. President, Attorney Angelo Jimenez, as a former faculty, as a former chair of the UP Diliman Department of English and Comparative Literature, and as a former faculty who has been granted the grace to represent our country in various endeavors. Now I realize, and now I give praise to God that finally, in God's own appointed time, in the fullness of God's time, the Philippines can fulfill her prophetic destiny because all the promised graces, because in this sacred hallowed ground, God has manifested the divine power so that every citizen, leader, and community will now begin to show the world that indeed the Philippines has taken it upon themselves. We own the responsibility now. Our beloved President Ferdinand Bongbong Romualdez Marcos Jr. and Attorney Angelo Jimenez, the two of you, President of the Philippine Republic and the President of the UP system, the University of the Philippine system, in this very sacred place, in this temple, Cebu, the Cebu delegation, and the devotees and the disciples and the students of this beloved Philippine Dao Digong Temple have made a covenant to see to it that together the Cebu delegation led by the so-called Papa June, a member of the Barangay 2, they attended the December 4 Marian procession, and December 5 is the blessed and glorious birthday of the Grand Master Thomas Leyang, whose sacred prophetic leadership in this Philippine Dao Digong Temple has really affected and has really influenced my mission. Grandmaster Thomas Leyang is really heaven sent because with his support, with his humble leadership, things were fast-tracked. So, Mr. President, the President of the Philippine Republic and the President of the University of the Philippine System, we renew and we rededicate ourselves because we know that without the citizens offering sacrifices, making a covenant, there will be no success. And so, tonight is indeed a night to give an overview of what to expect between now and towards the end of this year and in the next 12 months through the publications. The publications that are being fulfilled by the twin leadership of the 17th sacred prophetic president of the Philippine Republic for the world, Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., and the University of the Philippine System, Angelo Jimenez. First of all, let me tell you that when I went to the Republic of Turkey, I was guided to look for the items that I can offer the leadership, the sectors of governance in the Republic of the Philippines. Again, before presenting it here, let me tell you also that in this very place, the disciples, the believers in this Philippine Dao De Gong Temple, we had a ceremony consecrating the executive, the Congress, the judiciary, the Commission on Election, the Civil Service Commission. So now, this represents, in my research, this is the symbol of the omnipotent, all-seeing eye. This was a single image that I saw, and all of these that we will give to the sectors has this one. I really don't know the purpose of this. It looks like a rosary, but whatever, for me, it will be the one to be served as the key, the unity of the beads, and the gold is the golden civilization. The recovery of the civilizations, especially the Filipino civilization. So this is for our beloved President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. And this one, Sophia, Santa Sophia, it is the famous Sophia means wisdom and the holy wisdom. When I saw this, I immediately thought of our beloved Vice President, Mayor Sara Duterte, who is also the Secretary of Education. I believe that she will allow herself to be guided by the sacred wisdom that this gift represents. And then, this one is for the new University of the Philippines President, Attorney Angelo Jimenez. For whatever reason, when I saw this, perhaps later, the meaning of this image will be revealed. So, at the right time, we will give this to the President, the Vice President, and the UP President. And now, this is for House Speaker Ferdinand Martin Gomez Romualdez. They both say Istanbul. This one is blue, and this one for Senate President Miguel Subiri. And the third set, this one is for Chief Justice Alexander Gesmundo. And this one is for the Commission on Elections, George Erwin Garcia. George L. Wildersley. These two came from the renovated chapel of St. Joseph. It was given to me and to my niece because we contributed, even though humble amount. So foundation. And this is the publication that we offered in the Republic of Turkey, House of Mary, and Ephesus ruins. The title is St. Joseph Barangay Education for the Golden Filipino Civilization, prophecy of Dr. Jose Rizal and Dr. Ferdinand Blumentritt. Whether you believe it or not, but anyway, I have a witness. The artist who designed every page of this is a witness, Val Villanueva. We had to do every page as inspired and guided by St. Joseph. And so, every page is prophetic, especially this page. This page is the most prophetic. Even then, as of, if I may read, so this is the photo. If I may read, message from St. Joseph, November 17, 2021. To Professor Consolacion R. Alaras, as he joined the online Divine Mercy Prayer prelude to the 4th Day Novena Holy Mass for the November 23, 2021 Foundation Anniversary of St. Joseph's Shrine in the Roman Catholic Diocese of Cubao, Quezon City. The message is to put the photo of the 2021 presidential aspirant Ferdinand Marcos Jr. beside the sacred prophetic Rizal Salakot in Berlin, Germany Museum. The Rizal Salakot, or native headgear, I was allowed to hold with prayer for the Philippine President to realize the golden Filipino civilization, prophecy of Dr. Jose Rizal with Dr. Ferdinand Blumentritt, with emphasis on Ferdinand Marcos Jr. having the same name of Dr. Ferdinand Blumentritt. This message confirms the radiant signs experienced by our November 2 to 5, 2021 pilgrimage delegation headed by Grandmaster Thomas Dayang regarding the 2022 Ferdinand Marcos Jr. presidency, fulfilling the sacred prophetic presidency also of President Duterte. You see, when many of my UP friends criticized me for supporting President Bongbong Marcos, I said, I'm merely following a message. The whole world can go against me, but I still have to follow the message. So, anyway, and to be truthful about this, St. Joseph, this very image, in the family garden of our president of the Rizal Blumentritt Pamatalan Academy, Attorney Rafael A. Morales, in the garden, the March 28, 2021 birthday of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, St. Joseph instructed me to offer the image. And again, on the birthday of President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., again, Saint Joseph, this very same image, instructed me to offer this image. That's why this image is very, very crucial, and I have to offer it here, even though they have already a big Saint Joseph. So anyway, let me give an overview of what we expect. Our compatriots, the dear viewers of our YouTube channel, Kabanalan, Kabayanihan, Kalikasan, or Holiness, Heroism, Honoring Creation. Please join me in prayers as we realize what I believe Dr. Jose Rizal has been waiting for. Every year, every December 30, Rizal Martyrdom, Rizal would tell me that he would like the commemoration of his martyrdom. Of course, everybody knows this, mi ultimo adios, the last farewell in various translations. But every year, and I hope I entreat you, I entreat everyone, wherever you are, Filipinos all over the world. Please let us fulfill the heartfelt desire of our beloved national global hero, Dr. Jose Rizal. He would like to be known as a spiritual leader, the model of the sacred prophetic leadership. That's why Rizal and the Katipunan pilgrimage for sacred prophetic politics in the Philippines for the world. And that is why the Rizal painting I inherited from my late grandfather, Dr. Jose Rizal, I entrusted it first to the University of the Philippine System President Alfredo E. Pascual to guide his Rizal presidency in the University of the Philippine System. And afterwards, when President Rodrigo Roa Duterte was elected, the inspiration was for me to entrust this Rizal painting I inherited to our beloved Sacred Prophetic Secretary of the Department of the Interior Local Government, Eduardo M. Año. Here, you see, even this is the painting. Of course, this is the painting when I presented it to our beloved President Alfredo E. Pascual, who is now the Secretary of the Department of Trade and Industry. This is the painting. I was joined by then Czech Republic Ambassador to the Philippines, Joseph Richter. And now, this is the occasion when I entrusted my Rizal painting to the good Secretary Eduardo M. Año. And now, Secretary Eduardo M. Año would like to personally give me the painting because during the entrustment in the Department of the Interior Local Government, when I personally handed to him this Rizal painting, entrusted, I proclaimed and I said, this Rizal painting will go to the successor of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. And so, our compatriots all over the world Will you please join me in prayer in realizing this desire, this message? It is a desire and a message that comes no less from Dr. Jose Rizal. Because this year, the sacred prophetic leadership, Rizal would like to be known as a spiritual leader. So, the inspiration to me is to entreat you all over the world, even other foreigners who believe in Dr. Jose Rizal, I entreat you. This is the way the inspiration is given to me yesterday as I meditated on the solemnity of the Immaculate Conception. It is a national holiday because it was proclaimed by law, signed by our beloved President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. The message is this: help me please. Please offer sacrifices and prayers that this will be realized. The message is this. In this book is my dream of President Ferdinand Edelin Marcos. I presented this copy to him when I joined. In 1989, when I joined the Fourth Archipelago Local Perspective from Marcos to Aquino, I was able to present this in his place in Hawaii. I have been dreaming of President Marcos Sr. And in the Republic of Turkey, the message was very clear. In my dream, he is in the tears of joy and in spirit facing the media. For me now, please, my compatriots, the desire of Dr. Jose Rizal no less is for our beloved President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. to receive, to welcome the entrustment of my Rizal painting on December 25, Christmas 2022. Because it was on December 25, 1999, when I was granted the grace to have a ceremony, covenant ceremony, marking the family garden in the ancestral home, San Juan ancestral home of President Ferdinand Edelin Marcos. It will be a gift. You know, in my research, President Ferdinand Edelin Marcos idolizes our national global hero, Dr. Jose Rizal. So it would give both Dr. Jose Rizal and President Ferdinand Edelin Marcos, it will give the utmost joy, a Christmas gift for the nation and the world. When this Rizal painting of mine, I inherited from my late grandfather, Dr. Guillermo Lucia, when with Secretary Eduardo M. Año, with the University of the Philippine System, President Angelo Jimenez, Speaker Ferdinand Martin Gomez Romualdez, Senate President Miguel Subiri, Chief Justice Alexander Esmundo, Commission on Election George Erwin Garcia, Irrevocable! The Rizal Blumentritt Pamatalaan Academy President, Attorney Rafael Abilino Morales, who together with University of the Philippine System President Alfredo E. Pascual established the UP Covenant Monument. Now, this delegation will be joined by those leaders whose sacred spaces have received the sacred Fatima soil. Because the first place where I put the Fatima soil, the sacred prophetic Fatima soil from Fatima, Portugal, as instructed by Saint Teresa of the Child Jesus, the first was the ancestral garden of President Ferdinand Edelin Marcos, and then Malacanang, and then the sacred space of Attorney Pablo Trillanes III, then in La Union, in San Miguel, Bulacan, and then in La Union, Carlos Litos Valero, and then in Rosario, La Union, Carmen Maglangbayan, and then within the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, Evelyn Panti, the Pangitinan Protected Area Landscape, and in Mindanao, Davao, the Pamatalaan marker done by national artist Napoleon Villanueva, now in the care of the Davao City local government, and above all, in Baguio City, there in the Dambana ng Bayan, because the UP Covenant Monument, the Filipino translation is Dambana ng Bayan. It's up on a certain hill. And so, this is the message. Please, I beg you, leaders, citizens, and communities, help me realize this message. December 25, 2022. It's our gift to Dr. Jose Rizal and President Ferdinand Edelin Marcos, but it's also their gift to us. So I think the others will just this is the Dambana ng Bayan, the dog monument. I put this here, the Philippine Earth Charter Pamatalaan Dambana ng Bayan. This was proclaimed a protected area landscape because of my dream. Without my dream, this would have not been proclaimed as a protected area. And now, as a matter of fact, by law, is part of the Congress, there is a law already that established this protected area, signed again by President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. That is President Fidel Ramos, myself, Pamatalaan, and then there is a General Abe Villacorta there, Carmen Maglangbayan. This is Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, with the Katipunan Eternal Flame of national artist Napoleon Villanueva, because she agreed to have the Lady of Fatima soil in the Malacanang garden. That is why, at the back, I put here, Thanksgiving prayer of President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo to Our Lady of Fatima. There is already a marble marker, and it is in the office of Assistant Executive Secretary Lindanao Moreno. And this is the painting of my dear niece, Marie Christine Alaras Nagamos. This I published a story to tell in the Year of Faith, Year of Grace, to celebrate the canonization of Pedro Calungsod in Rome. Merceditas to us. So the final book is this. Everything is here. I already showed this. I already showed this. So what will happen is, it is a kind of all the signs of fulfillment I already experienced. So I share this with the nation and the world. Thank you very much. And please, may God bless us all. December 25, 2022, December 30, Rizal Martyrdom. Rizal would like to have, the request of Rizal is on December 31, on the eve of New Year, because January 1 is the feast of the Mother of God. And Dr. Jose Rizal is very Marian. So, what Dr. Jose Rizal desires, and please help us fulfill this desire of his ever since. When the whole world will look back and look forward, guided by every word of this is the text. This was entitled because this is his last covenant with God, country, and compatriots. In my workshops, I always use this text as a sacred text because I tell them, in this text of Rizal's last covenant with God, country, and compatriots, it was written in blood. For me, this is the best testament of the communion of saints. The communion of saints and heroes. So, I beg everyone, if on December 31, every home will reflect on this text of, because almost every Filipino language is represented here, Bisaya, Bicolano, and everything. And if it everywhere in the Philippines and everywhere in the globe, because this has been translated globally. I must say I can happily die. It has been the desire of Rizal. So he used me when I teach it in my workshops. This is the masterpiece in world literature, when every nation will consider this sacred text as the last covenant of everyone, leader, citizen, and community, with God, country, and compatriots. Amen.